Hi guys, welcome back. This is a preview of the action on the 11th and the 12th of December, this Friday and Saturday night. So there's two cards on Friday night. The one the one on Eurosport headlined by Tommy Frank versus Guardes. For the vacant IBF Intercontinental flyweight title. So that should be a good fight. Tommy Frank unbeaten. This is a little bit of a step up for Tommy Frank. Tommy Frank was up, and his last fight was supposed to be against Maximo Flores, but due to COVID, it got cancelled, and that was for an IBF. That was for an IBO world title, sorry. But obviously he's fighting this guy. Hopefully he should win, but should be a decent fight. And then on another card, on a Hennessy Sport card, the main event is Sam Egerton versus Ashley Theopian. Both fighters have been in there with really good opponents. Theopian has been in there with people like Adrian Broner, so he's obviously boxed at a good level. Sam Egerton's coming off this fight on the back of losing to Ted Cheeseman in an absolute war in fight camp back in August. So yeah, I think it should be a good fight. Two come forward fighters, two fighters who like a tear up, so it should be a really entertaining fight tomorrow night. So yeah, that should be good. And moving on to Saturday, obviously headlined by Anthony Joshua defending all of his titles against Kubrat Pulev, who's his IBF mandatory challenger. Pulev is a good fighter. He's only been beat once by Vladimir Klitschko, so it will be a tough fight. Obviously, we know that Kubrat Pulev boxed Hughie Fury over in Bulgaria, and he totally outclassed Hughie Fury. But obviously, Joshua's probably a level above that, if not a few levels above that, as a world champion. But I do think Pulev could cause some problems to Joshua, as he's got a good jab, and he's quite defensively sound. So I think Joshua will get the win. But I think for Joshua, it'd be interesting to see whether he boxes like he did against Ruiz, or he'll go back to the knockout power that he has. I believe that he does have the power. I think he could stop Pulev in this fight. But it's another potential banana skin. Kubrat Pulev, obviously being a mandatory challenger, means that he's earned the right to be there as a mandatory challenger. This fight should have happened a couple of defences ago when he pulled out due to an injury. So obviously Joshua ended up fighting Takam, then ended up stopping Takam. But now they finally do get it on Saturday night. On the rest of that card, obviously the chief support of that card is Lawrence Okoli versus Jajski of Poland. Jajski's, the only name that I've seen on his record is Shondell Winters. But in his last fight he won the Polish cruiserweight title, so that's got a little bit of pedigree. He's unbeaten, 19 wins, 1 draw. He's ranked in the top 15 he's ranked in the top 15 of 2 or 3 world governing bodies. This fight originally was supposed to be for the WBO world title, but as Galaki had to pull out due to COVID, so I've looked at the rankings and this guy's in the top 15, so I personally don't understand why it's not for the vacant title. Unless the rules are a bit different, I'm going to research that a little bit and get back to you about that. But this fight goes ahead, and Lawrence Okoli, this fight will now be for the WBO International Cruiserweight title. So um, another, um, another way um, to push yourself up the rankings, and obviously a vacant WBO International belt. A potential banana skin for Lawrence Okoli, but I believe that Okoli now knows that a win here, his next fight will be for the vacant WBO world title. I just think it's a little bit of a shame that it's not for the full world title, but Lawrence Okoli has to put a good performance on Saturday night, and then hopefully the world title will be next fight for him, and then obviously on the undercard also a great fight between Martin Bakoli and Sergey Kuzmin, for the WBC International Heavyweight title. Kuzmin has boxed, his last fight. He lost. He's only been beaten in his record, and that was against Michael Hunter. But prior to that, he beat David Price. And he's got a big, he's quite a good fighter, strong Russian. But he's got a good knockout ratio as well, fighting Martin Bakoli. Obviously Bakoli's only defeats come to Michael Hunter as well, so both of them have only been beaten once, and they've both been only beat by Michael Hunter. So they share that opponent share that opponent on their both records. I believe that obviously Bakoli's a good fighter. I believe Bakoli now, this he has to show a good performance, a good win, to get him up the rankings. I think both of these are punchers. Both Bakoli and Kuzmin are both punchers, so I'll be surprised if this goes all 12 rounds. So yeah, I think that should be a really good fight for the vacant WBC International Heavyweight title, and also obviously the winner will go up in the WBC rankings. So that's another thing fighting for. And then in the States, the main event in the States is Shakur Stevenson defending against Toko Khan Clary. Toko Khan Clary last defeat came to Kid Galahad, who obviously went on to fight for the IBF world title. So we know of him in the UK, but I do expect Shakur Stevenson to win the fight, defend his world title. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good card, over good fights over the weekend. I think the Joshua card will be good. It's a little bit disappointing for Lawrence Okoli that it's not for the vacant WBO full world title, but at least he's on the card, and he's got a challenge. He's got a good fight against this Polish opponent. So yeah. So my personal opinion is I think Lawrence Okoli will win by stoppage. I think Bakoli will stop Sergey Kuzmin, and I believe Anthony Joshua will stop Okio Kubrat Pulev within. I believe Joshua can win in between rounds 4 to 7. 4 to 7, I believe. So yeah, so it'd be good to see AJ back in action. It'd be good to see what AJ turns up. Which will he box and move and be patient, or will he be looking to detonate the power early? So yeah, hope everyone enjoys the fights this weekend. I'll be back with a review of all this action on Monday or Tuesday. Okay, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the vids. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.